You want me to hold one of them so you can get the whole picture?
Yeah, that'd be awesome if we get the beak. The beak's heavier.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, I can. It would look really cool. Yeah, they're about the same degree.
Wonderful.
So, yeah. That would circulate to about there. We've never done this before.
Oh, cool. So I'm Clayton Phipps, and some people call me the dinosaur cowboy, and my job is to go out and save dinosaurs from the second extinction. I really enjoy preserving history and finding them and keeping them from eroding away and just getting them to museums or private collections where they can be safe. And I spend a lot of time looking for dinosaurs, probably more time looking for them than I do digging them. Once we find some sign that there might be a dinosaur there, then we a lot of times we'll open up a site by hand first and just see if it keeps going. If the signs are good and it seems like there's maybe going to be more bone in the hill, it depends. Every site's different. Some sites have hundreds of feet of overburden on them, and so then we have to move that to get down to the layer the bones are in. So we'll start with big equipment sometimes, and we'll move down from that. Once we get down to within a few feet of the layer, then we'll start in with shovels, jackhammers, picks, and we'll move down from that. When we get right around working on the bones, we'll move down to a knife and a brush and use glue and consolidate them in the field. Once we get them kind of the bone layer perimeter and what we have, then we'll take and pedestal it, and we'll put a plaster jacket around it. We use burlap soaked in plaster Paris and water and mix it up, and then we dip the burlap and wrap the strips around, and we'll do many layers depending on how big the block is and how much strength we need to hold that block together to get it safely to a lab. And my friends have a preparation lab, and they take and open the jackets that us field guys bring to them, and they clean up the jackets and see what's inside them. You know, they'll open them up and expose any bones that we may have not seen in the field, because sometimes we'll take them out in a giant block and you can't safely do it in the field. You need to flip it over and see what else is in that jacket. You take the jacket and you open it and you go through it. And once we get to that stage, then we can start, you know, advertising the dinosaur to prospective clients. There's a lot of politics in the dinosaur world. I can't, in our country, the laws are such that I can't donate my dime and my time and go find a dinosaur and donate it to our local museum off federal land. I can't do it. And if there's no benefit for me to go out there and try to save one on my dime and my time and do it at my expense and spend my time doing it, and I can't keep it locally to benefit our community, then, you know, there's something wrong with that picture. So I do it another way. I do it the only legal way that I can. I contract with private landowners. They own the surface rights, they own the fossil. I help set a law in Montana in place to clarify the ownership of fossils and to get that taken care of. We found the dueling dinosaurs in 2006, and there became a large legal battle surrounding them about who owned them. The land that we found them on, and the contract I had, was with the surface owners of the land. That's all anyone had dealt with since 1918, and the Earl Douglas decision was made. A hearing was called about who owned the fossils, whether it was a mineral right, and he was able to claim mineral rights, or if it was a surface right. The federal government owned that land, and so during the hearing, they decided that no, it's a surface right. A 5-year-old could have answered the question. A dead animal is not a mineral. It should have been that simple. But 7 years later, and a lot of money flowing the wrong direction, we finally got a law in Montana passed, and on the courts and in the record books, that if you own the surface rights, you own the fossil. Back when I first started into paleontology, I realized there was a debate between academic and commercial fossil hunters. I realized that. I didn't like the way that a lot of academics had treated landowners. You know, they had stolen them from landowners for years, never any recognition or any acknowledgement or any sort of benefit to the landowners at all. And I didn't like that. And so anyway, but I wanted to bridge the gap between commercial and academia. We can work together, and I have proven it. You know, the dueling dinosaurs are now in one of our, you know, premier museums in the United States. It's going to become a worldwide destination to come see the dueling dinosaurs. If you like dinosaurs and want to go see them, they're one of the best in the world. And we were very blessed to find them. Luck's created. We didn't find them sitting on the couch. You know, we saved them so people can enjoy them, and we can work together. And I like it when that happens. No, I have not come very rich because of my profession. I'm still, I still live in the house I grew up in. You know, I spent about 25 years of my life getting to the point where I am, where I built this into a business that it's actually been successful, and it's taken a long time to get there. For the first 20 years, we didn't have any money. You know, when we got our first installment for the dueling dinosaurs, we actually went to town, and my wife wanted a new pair of gloves. And she said, "Hey, I'm getting them. We can afford them now." For 20 years, I've lived out in the hills and stayed in the on a cot in the wide open with I didn't even have a tent. and if it rained, I'd get in my car in the night. So yeah, last year I went and bought a camper, and it's an old used camper, but I didn't really want a really nice one because pulling it through the hills, I'd have destroyed it anyway.